At Ritual, we know what goes into the holiday season. The potluck planning, the gift giving, the spreadsheets. So this new year, take a moment for yourself with science-backed support that puts you first. So whether you're focusing on supporting foundational health with a clean vegan multivitamin or supporting your gut health with Symbiotic Plus, do it with 30% off your first month at ritual.com/podcast. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Owning a boat comes with a number of perks, like being able to fling your favorite fishing rod around. And here's another perk. Geico's boat insurance covers your boat and your belongings. And with specialist support from agents that are as passionate about boating as you are, there's so much value that you'll want to high-five someone. But not while you're holding your fishing rod. That's a prized possession. So hold on tight with both hands and keep it covered through boat insurance. Get more with Geico.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of True Crime Time for Monday, March the 24th, and I'm Woody Overton.
I'm Cyndi Overton.
We're back in the saddle, about to bring you some crime and intrigue and all that good shit. I'll try to fix this microphone so y'all can hear that. Real podcasting shit, right?
Right.
You're the only person in the room talking to you. Anyway, and I'm Woody Overton. Woody said that already?
Yeah.
There you go. I said it again. So y'all, I don't know, because we didn't get it. We're recording this on Sunday, and we don't have the update on ticket sales yet. But we didn't get an update on Friday, did we?
I might not have sent
But
it.
anyway, we have a bunch are sold, and for the live show, Saturday, July the 19th in Hammond, Louisiana, at Southeastern Louisiana University in their main theater. It's an awesome place, a great seat. There's not a bad seat in the house. 360 something people approximately. They will have alcohol sales and food vendors and all that before I do the show. And then I'm going to do the show. It's going to be raw and unscripted, old school, original Woody Overton cop story. And then for those of you who choose VIP, which a lot of you have, you'll be shuttled to the VIP reception. Basically, your first drink is on me, and we're going to hang out until we don't want to hang out anymore, or they kick us out, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to be a first-class event, awesome time. Looking forward to seeing everyone. We have a block of hotel rooms at a brand new property in Hammond at the Home 2 Suites by Hilton, and use the code RLRC and you get 50% off, not 50% off, you get $50 off, which is still significant. I always stayed in the Hilton properties, all the traveling that I did, you know this, Sin, but
yeah.
They're always nice. And the Home 2 Suites are pretty cool because they have like a full-size refrigerator and a kitchenette and all that. But Hammond is a cool ass town, or city, I guess you would call it. But close to the university is like Kate Street and all the different restaurants downtown. The railroad track runs right through the middle of it. Just a great place to hang out. Really a lot of good food and a lot of good people. And we're going to be there all weekend.
Yeah.
And on the block of rooms, I think you could do up to like 4 nights at that rate or something.
We did the 17th through the 21st.
So like 4 nights at that rate or something. So we'll be there. We'll be hanging out. We'll be having fun. And we're going to be taking the stage and doing what we do. And I think, good Lord willing, that my mom and daddy are actually going to get to be there.
That'd be awesome.
Because they never got to see me do it, right?
Nope.
Thank you to everyone who's already purchased tickets. Love y'all. Can't wait to see you. And thank you to everyone who's going to purchase tickets.
Yeah.
So Dateline, I was sitting in my chair last night and Miss Stephanie, Courtney Coco's mama, messaged me and said that Dateline was running Courtney's 2-hour special again. And holy shit, my phone started going ding, 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 ding. And it was nothing but that's only one out of all like 9 different social media things that was dinging. And that was the Facebook Meta business page, like for the regular real life real crime, not even the crew page, that people were blowing me up. boom, ding, 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 and just it wouldn't stop. So I knew it was running. I didn't get to watch it again. Man, I have it recorded. But y'all, so many people out there that are hurting and so many people that want help. It's just mind blowing, and I used to get 2, maybe 1 a week, and then Courtney aired and it went to 10 a week, and Mary Pooh Show aired and it went back up, and it does that. It comes and it goes, but I can't read them all. It's impossible. And if you are listening, a lot of these people that have never listened to the podcast, they just see the TV shows and they look me up and do it. But if you're listening and you have information, email me, Woody@realliferealcrime.com, and I will at least read the story. And I'm going to work something next after Haley. Hashtag Just for Haley, hashtag Just for Miss Barbara Blunt. Her sister messaged me. Her niece messaged me yesterday also. And it's going to be Miss Barbara Blunt's 17-year anniversary.
Wow.
That's my white whale. It wasn't my case, but I just need a little more evidence. Y'all call it in so we can bring Miss Barbara home. I'm going to work cold cases, and I'm going to cherry pick and choose one at a time. So if you have information like Miss Barbara, Haley's mom did in this case, holy smokes, we can use that. It gives me something to go off of. And I want it to be an injustice. I want it to be, look, God bless you all. Some of you are crazy as hell. I'm just being honest. People send in shit like aliens got their people and shit like that. And I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure I'm not working this one. I'm not even going to respond to it. Naturally, there's a whole lot of people that are truthfully hurting, but they'll send in like 2 or 3 lines. Such went missing.
Help them.
Help me. That's it.
Literally, I got one of those.
Don't know what state, where you're from, if you're whatever.
Yeah. What
don't
year
know anything.
They went missing?
And I
Was
certainly,
it in the 1800s?
Yeah, I certainly don't have time to go look it up. I'd love to be that person. And Leah Marie, who researches most of her stuff, there's no way. There's no way. And I need to copy her. We need to copy her on the legit emails from last night. Yeah. Some of the ones actually emailed me today. Had emails besides the social media. But that being said, rambled on enough. Y'all get your tickets. We want to see everybody there. It's going to rock.
It is.
And we're going to have a good time. Y'all, if you've been there before to the Crew Bashes and shit, then we're going to have just as much fun, a little bit different environment, but we will be there all weekend. So that being said, give us a story.
All right. We're going to start off talking about a bunch of people that are just mad and vandalizing. And it's everywhere. It's not, I can't tell you one place.
I don't know of a crime that is more senseless than vandalism. All right. Now, and I've had to work them, and it's just stupid shit. I probably, when I was a kid or swim, maybe spray painted a stop sign or 2 or some shit like that. Or we would get out and like the businesses that had their signs with the letters on them with the arrow on the top that flash would change and make dirty words out of shit like that. I'm talking about motherfuckers just go in and trash shit for no reason.
I know.
And that's people's shit.
Or destroy their own town. Like, catch their own town on fire.
During like riots, when they burn down their neighborhoods, I'm like, pretty sure you just burnt down your fucking pharmacy.
Yeah.
Pretty sure you just burnt down your grocery store. But that's a little bit different.
Yeah.
They're pissed off for a reason. They police brutality or whatever, and I get that. But I'm talking about motherfuckers who just go in because they got nothing better to do. Fuck that. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Maybe your people had a reason to do it.
Well, everybody thinks they have a legitimate reason, but I think there's better methods of expressing your frustration, right?
Tell us what happened.
So this is about the Tesla dealerships, Tesla owners, and charging stations getting vandalized and just targeted in general. So there have been several high-profile attacks and instances of vandalism targeting Tesla car owners, dealerships, and charging stations. And this story is going to go through like a bunch of different cities that have been experiencing this. The wave of attacks and vandalism targeting the places that I just told you has emerged since Donald Trump took office, and he appointed Elon Musk to lead the newly formed Department of Government Efficiency.
Dodge.
So Attorney General Pam Bondi.
They're fucking tearing some shit up. Did you see all these billions of dollars they're getting back from programs and shit that don't even exist?
I mean, there's people that have been getting checks, like Social Security checks that are not even 120 years old.
Yeah, but it's a lot more than that.
I know, I'm saying.
There's like housing grants and developments for fucking, some village in Africa with $28 million and shit, like just stupid shit that's never been done.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody
Yeah.
has been checking up on it.
Nobody.
I don't care what this is not a political show, by the way. I don't give a fuck who you are, but I am a businessman and I own several. We own several. And you naturally want to cut the fat as much as you can, man, and spend your money correctly and wisely to help your business grow.
Yeah.
Well, big government, it's called big government for a reason. They've been fucking us, and it's our money that they're spending. But anyway, so I think that, all the shit that they're doing, if you're part of somebody who's getting $20 million to study Fruit Loops or some shit like that, and it's a brother-in-law deal, you should go fuck yourself because you're taking my money. Right.
Well, you're right. This isn't a political show, so I'll just leave it at that. But Attorney General Pam Bondi has said that these attacks are nothing short of domestic terrorism.
I saw one dude, I think it was in New York City. Some guy was in his Tesla, and this dude comes up and fucking spray paints his car while he's in it. Guess what he did? He spray painted a fucking swastika.
Yeah.
And when they catch him, this dumbass comes back and they catch him. He's fucking Jewish.
Yeah.
And he's painting a swastika. What the fuck is that about? Right. And he was like, "Oh," his lawyer said, "Oh, my client was just having a really bad day." So you're Jewish and your people survived the Holocaust, and you're going to go fucking paint a swastika on some dude's car?
I just don't think
because somebody's in office.
They're probably educated. I don't know. She continues and says, "We will continue investigations that impose severe consequences on those involved in these attacks, including those operating behind the scenes to coordinate and fund these crimes." The high-profile incidences have occurred across several states since Musk began leading efforts to cut government spending, leading to thousands of federal jobs being slashed. In the Obama administration, Tesla, the electric car company where Musk serves as CEO, received $465 million in loans from the Department of Energy. This level of...
I guess because they're trying to figure alternative fuel sources.
Exactly. Yeah. So he was, a good guy during the Obama administration. We're going to give you over 465.
During the Obama administration, we got a bad boy buggy is all electric for half off.
Yeah.
Because of Obama. I got no problem with that. That's a different story. That's, I'm certainly a fossil fuel guy, but that golf cart, that 4-wheel drive golf cart will outpull a gas golf cart, and it's silent. For hunt purposes, it's genius. And for renewable purposes, I don't have to haul gas like I did to the other one the other day. The only problem is the batteries are all fucked up on it. That was in like 2008 or something. But anyway. Are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal changes? I know Cyndi was, and if you're a woman, you're definitely not alone. There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living rent-free in our environment right now, found in our food, water, and even in our skincare products. These disruptors can wreak havoc on our hormones. Believe me, before Hormone Harmony, I watched Cyndi suffer. Not anymore. Hormone Harmony's formula, made only with herbal ingredients, have reduced Cyndi's hormonal symptoms, and it helps women of all ages. Then there are the natural hormonal changes our bodies face, such as menopause. While these processes are part of life, they don't have to be uncomfortable. The good news is that you don't have to suffer through it any longer. Hormone Harmony contains science-backed herbal extracts known as adaptogens, designed to help the body cope with stressors, including those chaotic hormonal fluctuations that can disrupt your daily life. Whether it's PMS symptoms like irritability and cravings, or menopause symptoms such as hot flashes and night sweats, Hormone Harmony can help with it all. Happy Mammoth, the creator of Hormone Harmony, is dedicated to improving women's lives by using only high-quality, science-backed ingredients. They make no compromises on quality, ensuring that you receive the best support possible. This isn't just a supplement. It has become a phenomenon. Women are talking about it everywhere, with a bottle of Hormone Harmony sold every 24 seconds. And the most important benefit, women express feeling like themselves again. A sentiment echoed in over 30,000 positive reviews. For a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code RLRC at checkout. That's happymammoth.com. Don't forget to use the code RLRC for 15% off today. Did you know there's an online cannabis company that ships federally legal THC right to your door? And they found a way to combine THC with carefully selected functional ingredients to target nearly every mood and health concern you can think of. I'm talking about Mood.com's incredible line of functional gummies. And you can get 20% off your first order at Mood.com with promo code RLRC. Forget one-size-fits-all supplements that only get you high. Mood's functional gummies are optimized to kick in as little as 15 minutes and take you to the mood that you're looking for. Whether that's Mind Magic gummies for deep work and creativity, PMS support to ease cramps and balance mood swings, or their sexual euphoria gummies to help you feel ready for action and turn every touch into a full body experience. Look, y'all, you know I have trouble sleeping. I take the Sleepy Time gummy. I take a quarter of one before I go to sleep, and I sleep hard all night long. Never even move, wake up feeling fresh as a daisy. So listen, you can find gummies to just get you high pretty much anywhere these days. But Mood's functional gummies combine premium federal legal THC with targeted botanicals to help you get into that perfect mood, usually in as little as 15 minutes. And everything ships discreetly right to your door. No dispensary lines, no awkward conversations, just better days and nights delivered to your doorstep. Best of all, not only is every Mood product backed by a 100-day satisfaction guarantee, but as I mentioned, listeners get 20% off their first order with code RLRC. So head to Mood.com, find the functional gummy that matches exactly what you're looking for, and let Mood help you discover your perfect mood. And don't forget to use promo code RLRC when you check out to save 20% on your first order.
So on X, Elon Musk said this level of violence is insane and deeply wrong. Tesla just makes electric cars and has done nothing to deserve these evil attacks. Tesla owners of Washington State President Teresa Ramsdale said, "Hate on Elon and Trump all you want. That's fine and dandy. It's your choice. It doesn't justify ruining somebody's property, vandalizing it, destroying it,
I agree.
setting it on fire. There's other ways to get your voice heard. That's more effective."
I agree.
And that is so true. So we're going to go to some of the recent attacks that have occurred. Mm-hmm. Just like the one you said in New York. This one's in Loveland, Colorado. That's the dealership. You spoke about her.
Yeah.
So,
and a dumbass lady, she kept coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was Molotov cocktails.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is actually different. 2 people were arrested and faced federal charges after a series of attacks at the Loveland Tesla dealership. Cooper,
Same. That dealership's catching hell, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cooper Joe Frederick, who is 24, is accused of targeting the dealership on more than one occasion, including on March 7th, in which he tossed an incendiary device at the dealership. And then also Lucy Grace Nelson. That's the one that you spoke about. Mm-hmm. Spray painting like the Nazi cars on the same Loveland dealership.
And trying to burn
That's
them.
Right. And found gasoline.
Do they think I know it's not political and I don't give a fuck about Elon Musk one way or the other, but is he German or something?
I have no idea. So they just talk about her with they found the gasoline, the Molotov cocktails, and the wick materials in her vehicle. But then we're going to go to South Carolina, a charging station, where on March 14th, the U.S. Attorney's Office, District of South Carolina, announced that Daniel Clark Pounder, these are a bunch of young people, he's 24 years old, was charged with arson after he also tossed a Molotov cocktail at a Tesla charging station near Charleston.
Okay.
And then some nice words were spray painted at the location as well, which said F, but the word F Trump, and long live Ukraine.
Whatever.
I don't know. So authorities discovered a letter critical to the government and DOGE, according to a federal complaint also. So then Buffalo Grove, Illinois Service Center on March 14th, there was vandalizing with graffiti at the Tesla Service Center. And a man named Aaron L. White was charged with felony criminal damage to property and criminal trespassing.
Nice.
The profanity-filled messages were directed towards Trump and Musk. Then we're going to go to Kansas City, where there's Cybertruck fires. So on March 17th, the FBI and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives began investigating the Cybertruck fires at a Tesla dealership. And the FBI stated that similar incidences have occurred in several states, and the FBI and ATF are coordinating with federal, state, and local law enforcement partners to gather information. Then we're going to move on to some dealerships in Oregon, Seattle, and Las Vegas, where people are like the one in Las Vegas. A person was dressed in all black, was seen on a video targeting several Teslas with Molotov cocktails at a Tesla collision center.
They're better at making them than me. I almost blew myself up or caught myself on fire when I made one. But I was young. I didn't have the internet. I didn't YouTube. There's probably some asshole on YouTube that made a Molotov cocktail video.
Then another suspect fired shots at vehicles. And thank goodness there was no injuries with those shots. And
hey, why don't y'all get a fucking hobby?
I think that is their hobby.
I mean, and I understand that's why we don't do politics on the show. And I don't give a fuck about Elon Musk other than, I mean, it could be, his name could be Ted Bundy if he was saving billions of dollars in taxes and shit. I'd be all for that. I think it's time. But basically, the whole gist, and you look like you got a ton more to read. We need to move on.
Just have one line. But I just wanted to complete the line. It just says that the FBI special agent in charge, Spencer Evans, just continues to say violent acts like this are unacceptable regardless of where they occur.
Well, they're stupid. They're dumb. I mean, what goal are you accomplishing?
I have no idea. I mean, I'm not.
Find another cause, people. All right.
Let's work on maybe like bringing out hate for rapists, pedophiles. People get worked up about that. Yeah. There's not right. I mean, go to their homes.
Burning.
It's literally registered.
Yeah, right.
They're registered. You can go to their home.
Start a Facebook group for that shit and go do their shit.
I mean, I don't want to incite violence on anybody, but let's.
I don't either, but I mean, fucking stupid. Yeah, I guess it might have a different effect than what they think. Because if I gave a fuck about, I mean, I don't dislike them or like them or one way or the other, Teslas, but if I gave a fuck about them and you were trashing Teslas to make a point, I might just go buy a Tesla. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Just to say, hey, go fuck you. Mm-hmm. And I hope you blow yourself up with a Molotov cocktail.
Yeah.
Man. And by God, that I just can't get away from that Jewish dude's parents thinking my son spray painted a swastika.
I don't get that.
Yeah.
I don't understand their.
Well, you know what? I'm about to do something that you really not going to fucking get. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. It's time for Beast Mode. We're going to Petal, Mississippi. You ever heard of that?
Mm-mm.
Uh-huh. Mississippi's like Louisiana. Got a bunch of small towns.
Rural,
really rural. Close to big towns and cities and everything else. I have probably been through Petal, Mississippi. It's kind of close to where I get my peanuts every year.
Is it like a pedal, like a bicycle pedal, or like a pedal, like a flower pedal?
Petal.
Okay, like a flower pedal.
Whichever one that is. All right.
Okay.
So we're going to Petal, Mississippi. Well, there's somebody named Chico.
And the Man. Right? That was Chico and the Man?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
So Chico, guess how much Chico weighed?
98 pounds.
No.
498 pounds.
No.
Okay, what?
Colder.
400 was colder? 200.
Warmer. You go back to your first one.
98.
Warmer.
Okay, 150.
It'd have to be less to be warmer.
Is Chico a man?
No, Chico is a 3-pound dog. But on Facebook, Chico's owner posts a post and he said Chico was unable to defend himself.
He's 3 pounds.
That's right.
Against who? Or what?
An 11-year-old boy in Petal, Mississippi.
No.
Petal, Mississippi. Mm-hmm. Fatally bludgeoning, basically, y'all, however you say it, he beat fucking Chico to death.
What kind of
who
dog?
Was a diminutive dog. You know where he got Chico? Well, he was on the leash in the owner's home. All right. So police in Petal, Mississippi responded to a report of an individual beating a dog with a stick on March the 17th. That's according to Daniel Clem with the Petal Police Department. Now, the cops show up, find the dog dead, Chico be dead, and he'd be still on the leash in the yard. Poor Chico. Now, of course, everything is recorded nowadays, and police got their hands on a video that a neighbor took. Now, if you see an 11-year-old beating a fucking dog to death and you can take a video of it, why don't you stop them? But I'm not neighbor shaming. I'm just saying.
That's what I...
But at least they videoed it and they gave it to the cops and it showed the boy beating the dog, and that's how they were able to identify him. They said a suspect is an 11-year-old juvenile and he was located within the vicinity of the incident. So he probably is a neighbor too. The child is not a resident of the neighborhood, but he was visiting a grandma at the time of the incident. Mm. He should have ate some of grandma's biscuits and gravy and left Chico alone. Right. So Chico, the owner, said he couldn't defend himself or go anywhere to get away from the psycho kid that beat him. His name was Timber Roberts. And Chico weighed just 3 pounds. And he added his sister, Romy, seems to know, and it's not the same now. So Chico had a sister.
Okay.
Maybe they just kept two off the same litter. He said, my family and I are very sad and miss him so much. No animal deserves to pass this way. And anyway, they started a petition to strengthen the state's animal cruelty law. The boy, the little shithead, got arrested and he's released into the custody of his family. His grandmother was charged but not arrested and was assigned to appear in court. So they gave grandma a ticket. I wonder if grandma was egging it on. The 11-year-old was charged with aggravated animal cruelty, and his grandmother's charge was contributing to the delinquency or the neglect of a child. Maybe grandma didn't know he was outside beating Chico to death. So there you have the story of poor Chico, a 3-pound dog. Look, let me tell you something. I don't know if Chico bit this boy or didn't bite him or whatever, or if it was just entertainment and he's a serial killer and an aspiring serial killer or whatever, budding, growing, flowering in his killing ways. But I did a lot of fucked up shit when I was a kid, but I never beat and tortured animals.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't get that.
Well, that's right.
I've had
the beginning of a serial killer.
The profile showed that a lot of them start out either torturing animals or setting fires. Now, I did set some fires, but not to buildings and structures. I set fire to myself with the Molotov cocktails. Thank God it was cold that night and I had on a long sleeve shirt. But stop, drop, and roll doesn't really work on gasoline.
I had a student that actually beat a cat and then ran over it with a lawnmower. I was very concerned about that student.
I'm sure that student's making a fine trustee in one of our prisons today.
Unfortunately, yes.
Well, that's the story of Chico in Petal, Mississippi, which I think I drove through there to go. Tommy Wilcox, if you're listening, hey, brother, I love you. And I was watching our hunting video when you took my son and I, LA, to the Quill Preserve in Alabama. And I'm pretty sure we drove through Petal, Mississippi on the way there. But Tommy Wilcox is a famous hunter, y'all. And he's also a Hall of Fame player for Alabama who played for, Bear Bryant.
That's awesome.
And this is his time of the year. He's always hunting. Turkey hunting is his favorite.
Yeah.
But you go.
Well, I just mentioned a former student of mine. So we're going to talk about a teacher.
It's time for Effed Up Professionals.
Okay, so we're going to talk about a bad teacher. And this teacher is accused of forcing young boys into group sex.
Uh-oh.
And then threatening to kill herself if they told.
Uh-oh.
So 5 boys as young as 13 have accused Brittany Fontenberry, who is 31, of sexual abuse. And she's in Indiana.
Okay.
I think it was Martinsville, Indiana, in Morgan County for sure. A former Indiana math teacher faces multiple new sex abuse charges. 5 more victims, including a 13-year-old, have accused her of sex crimes. She is facing additional counts of child molestation, dissemination of matter harmful to a minor, contributing to the delinquency of a minor, and 1 count of sexual misconduct with a minor. Last month, Fontenberry was charged with multiple crimes, including sexual misconduct with a minor, and I just read all of those charges. The incidences occurred between 2023 and 2024, and she worked at the Metropolitan School District in Martinsville, and she resigned on August 23rd of 2024. 5 more victims have since come forward, and one of the teens, who was 13 at the time, told authorities that she drugged him and his friends before sexually assaulting them at her house. When the victims didn't want to participate with her sex things, she told them, just let it happen. Just let it happen.
Yeah,
don't fight it.
It's all natural.
In one case, Fontenberry allegedly purchased $600 worth of items for a group of teens, making them wear ghost face masks from the movie Scream.
Nice.
Before sexually assaulting them. That's a whole other level of...
That's twisting. Shout out to Kylie. I think it's Loomis, who's listening. You got the message from her the other day?
Yeah.
Says she loves her show. Shout out Kylie. And you know why I'm shouting you out. We'll talk about that later.
The teacher then warned the teens that if they told on her, she would kill herself. I guess they ended up telling on her. I guess they were like,
Let me tell you something. If you're a rapist and like, I work so many of them, and most of them spread their victims out and make it safe and da-da-da. You know, you could probably get away with 1 and controlling them for so long. 2, a little iffy. 3, no way. 4, no. 5, your ass is going to jail. And they're like 13.
Yeah.
They're not going to fucking tell somebody they got laid by their teacher or they got raped by their teacher.
Well, another teen says that he was sexually assaulted after she asked him to babysit her children. Authorities began investigating her in August of 2024 after 2 high school students reported to staff that the Eminence High School math teacher sent them inappropriate Instagram messages and videos of her sex toys and a stripper pole in her Martinsville home.
That girl's hormones be raging. She need to get some hormone harmony, get her shit fixed.
And then the authorities began investigating a different incident on December 10th, 2024.
So it's just all a plethora of stuff that's just rolling.
Yeah.
We all know I love me some tacos. They're great every night of the week, not just Taco Tuesday. But Cyndi really wants me to eat healthier this year, and Factor's chef-made gourmet meals have made eating well easy. Factor arrives fresh and fully prepared, perfect for my busy lifestyle. With 40 options across 8 dietary preferences on the menu each week, it's easy to pick meals tailored to your goal. Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, or Keto, Factor has it all figured out. My favorite meal has been the jalapeno sweet corn polenta and chicken. Imagine a whole chicken breast marinated in lemon juice, garlic, and smoked paprika, grilled until juicy and topped with a zesty salsa verde. It's served over a creamy Parmesan polenta loaded with diced jalapenos, corn, mozzarella, and scallions. Bell peppers, red onions, and cauliflower are served on the side with fajita spiced butter. It was delicious and nutritious. Eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/factorpodcast and use Factor Podcast to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code FACTORPODCAST at factormeals.com/factorpodcast to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box.
At Ritual, we know what goes into the holiday season. The potluck planning, the gift giving, the spreadsheets. So this new year, take a moment for yourself with science-backed support that puts you first. So whether you're focusing on supporting foundational health with a clean vegan multivitamin or supporting your gut health with Symbiotic Plus, do it with 30% off your first month at ritual.com/podcast. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
A grandmother went and reported that her grandson disclosed to her sexual acts that happened between him when he was 15 years old and Fontenberry.
And that goes back to like the stupidest series I did with Agravino was Dateline.
Mm-hmm.
And, a lot of the victims come out after the fact. This guy told his grandmother that when he was 15 it happened. Most victims never come forward.
Right.
And thankfully these do, but for the ones that do come forward, we support you. And the people who just think that they're coming forward for financial reasons or whatever, it's not your kid. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I just want to close it with this. Do you want to know what her excuse was for?
Let me see. Her excuse is she's horny.
Mm-mm.
What?
She lost 150 pounds.
So that made her want to rape kids?
Uh-huh. She says
the scream mask on.
She did not say she regretted her actions. Instead, she told the police officers she regrets the day she lost weight. And she said, and doesn't think she would run into any of these issues if she was still 150 pounds heavier.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. She blamed it on her weight loss.
Diet companies don't want that shit out.
That's horrible.
That's fucking lame. That's what this is probably the lamest excuse I've ever heard. Flourish, hormone, what's it called?
Hormone replacement.
Hormone replacement. I knew that. And our dear friend, Dr. Miranda, they help. They're here in Livingston Parish, and she has clinics in other places, but they help people with the shots and all that stuff. And it works. I mean, I know everybody that's used it. My besties, I'm pretty sure they've never heard of anyone that lost 150 pounds that raped kids because they lost 150 pounds. Dumb as fuck.
Dumb.
So y'all, if you're in the LP and you wanted anything from weight loss to body improvement, whatever, they got so much shit you wouldn't do it. Call Flourish Hormone Replacement Center.
Yep.
Right. Well, you know what? I'm going to end this. I didn't intend to do it this way, but here we go. Are you ready? It's time for Beast Mode. I don't even know if old Chico qualifies as a beast mode, but the 11-year-old that beat him to death was in beast mode. I don't know if this really qualifies as a beast mode, but this is a really fucked up story. 3 adults and a 9-year-old boy. They all be in jail.
Okay.
This is in Michigan. Wow, bro, you got to see these pictures before I even tell you what they did. So, and they are locked up, the adults anyway. Their names are Charles Ashbecker, Kelly Walker, and Douglas Nelson. And the Genesee County Sheriff's Office up in Michigan, they're now residents of their hotel. Okay? The Sheriff's Office hotel. The jail.
They don't have to pay for that hotel.
Yeah, yes, and they get 3 hots and a kite. So they're behind the bars, and the young boy is in the custody. I love it. They say the care of. No, motherfucker. They're in the custody of Child Protective Services after the Michigan deputies went to a home and discovered a horror scene
Okay.
earlier this month. And you know what they saw when they got there? Everything I'm going to tell you is bad, but how it ended is really going to be bad. They got to the house and they saw, they were initially responding because AT&T, I hate those motherfuckers. AT&T employees had arrived at the work site and discovered that $30,000 worth of wireless cables had been stolen. Okay. And so they call the cops. Well, the cops get there, the deputies get there, and they see some animals. And they see the animals were starved and neglected. And there was neglect of children. I'm not saying I need to retract the 11-year-old is in the care of Child Protective Services.
So he wasn't. Okay.
I'm sorry, 11-year-old. Anyway, they get there and naturally they got to investigate. And in the course of their investigation, the first thing they saw at the home was a dead dog in a cage in the front of the house. Then they're like, damn, that's fucked up, right?
Right.
They're walking through the house and here comes another dog. It's emaciated and it's just wandering around. So now they're inside the house. The police came across a second emaciated dog.
Why did they have to
listen, they hadn't eaten in weeks and there was no water there. Then the deputies saw a small puppy, cute little puppy, curled up in the fetal position and dead inside a pizza box.
Okay.
Right? Get the fuck out of here. I mean,
why?
I don't know. But at the same time, the deputies noted the deplorable condition of the house. The refrigerator had no power and had rotted food inside in conditions that nobody should even be living there, as Detective Swanson explained during the news conference. However, people were living there, including a 9-year-old child, 3 adults, 2 dead dogs, 2 emaciated dogs, and a 9-year-old boy. Deputies quickly got to work and saved the 2 starving and dehydrated dogs on the scene while placing the child in the care of Child Protective Services. He wasn't arrested. I'm sorry, son. And they found the child a safe place to live. Thank God. Thank God the kid wasn't involved in it. And thank God they got him a safe place to live. And authorities didn't say what the child's relationship was with the adults in the press conference. However, the 3 adults are facing multiple charges, according to the court records. Kelly Walker, 29, is charged with child abuse, cruelty to animals, and the killing and torture of an animal. So Charles Ashbaker, 38, is charged with cruelty to animals, killing, torture of an animal, and child abuse, and a felon in possession of a firearm. Douglas Nelson, 47, is charged with theft, drug possession, and resisting arrest. Meth is bad, you motherfuckers. So they said, we work hand in hand with Virginia County Prosecutor David Layden to make sure that these individuals are charged as much as we possibly can and let the system take it from there. These are the individuals that could have at any point called 911 and said, hey, I can't take care of my dogs and I can't take care of this child.
Right.
All 3 adults remain in custody at the Virginia County Sheriff's Office Hotel. And that's it. I mean, come on, man. Dead dog in a cage, but a dead puppy in a pizza box.
So where'd the puppy come from?
Sure one of the dogs had a litter and
what'd they do with the other ones?
Ate them. I mean, shit, dogs got to eat too. They were emaciated. You know what? If your fucking power's out, you're a meth head, and you got some food that's going to rot, you got a bunch of nasty ass dogs, but you got a bunch of dogs around you that are starving, at least, and a kid, at least give them the food before it rots.
Gosh.
Right?
I don't know what to say.
Yeah. Meth is bad.
That reminds me of, imagine the 9-year-old probably obviously did not have food. And we have a wonderful program in Livingston Parish, Mighty Moms, that would deliver food on Fridays for kids to take home for the weekend.
Yeah, I always thought that was super cool.
Yeah. And I had a few students that would have to hide their food. And then I always had food in my classroom for them to take home like every night of the week.
Oh, I know. I paid for it.
I know.
We paid for it.
I was doing the job.
Yeah.
That's just so sad. I mean,
it's how the world rolls. I've been in so many of the houses where I wouldn't let my enemy's dog live in it. No. And they had kids living in it. And it's just the way they get it. And then I always thought, like, these kids don't stand a chance. Yeah.
I know.
And the ones that grow up like that and grow up and they think that's the norm.
Right.
Like, at my house, my dad was strict as fuck. No doubt about it. And we couldn't lay on the floor and watch TV. There was no eating in the living room, shit like that. But whatever, that's it, here and there. But my buddy would be there and he'd say every time my dad would walk through the back door, everybody would sit up straight. I mean, you had to sit up straight. You didn't talk while TV was on. You didn't laugh at shit, at shows and stuff. And that's just the way it was. And I mean, neither here nor there. But then I become a teenager and I start going to spend the night at my friends' houses and shit. They laying on the floor with pillows, watching cartoons and shit, or watching TV and eating popcorn and laughing and shit.
Yeah,
I'm like, the Jeffersons are on. They laughing like, oh, the fuck you can laugh. So you're truly a product of your environment, and good, bad, or indifference is all different levels and extremes. Yeah, and my dad now, I mean, he's totally changed, man. He's in his 80s, but he was a hard ass. But his daddy was a hard ass on him. And
that's what he knew. He didn't go spend the night at friends' houses to see that. I mean, you know what I mean?
No, and I know I was a hard ass on our older kids, but I wasn't every day. They think I was a hard ass. Every day I would pray that I would be just a little bit better than my daddy was to me.
And you've done that, except when you walked into the kitchen today, we all sat up straight. No, I'm joking.
They all shut up.
Like, here he comes.
Yeah, guess what? I sit in my chair and eat every day because I don't want to sit at the table.
It's true.
Shit, man. Remember that with the no elbows, which I get all the table manner stuff. I get that, and I'm glad they instilled that in me. But no elbows on the table, sit them straight. You did not get up until you finished everything on your plate. And I mean everything. I sat there one time behind some beets for like a day and a half.
Yeah.
The day left them on a plate. I finally had to go to bed. I mean, it was like a battle of the wheels. I sat there for like 5 hours. My ass was numb, and he's watching James Bond or something. And then the next morning, woke up. Yeah, motherfucker, come sit back down until you eat your beets. That's the way it was.
I begged for a TV dinner one time, and my mom was like, we have food at home. And I had to have this TV dinner, and we didn't have microwaves.
Right.
So she cooked it in the oven 50 minutes later, and I didn't want it. Was nasty, and I had to eat that till it was gone. But like I said, there was no, I was eating a whole cold mashed potatoes out of the fridge.
Right. No reading at the table because we didn't have internet, and I was a big reader, and I always had a book with me. No reading at the table. Certainly no watching television from the table.
Nope.
None of that shit.
None of it.
And now Scooty Oakland's dad calls it the head down generation because everybody's got the head down.
It is the head down generation.
I'm guilty of it too.
But yeah, our kids do eat at the table still.
Yep, I'm very proud of them for doing that.
And they don't have their heads down.
I can see them from my chair.
WL will if nobody's at the table with him, but we're all sitting there.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But we do engage in conversation at your table. There was no y'all are just there to eat. Like there's no, how was your day? Like what did you
right?
It's just different.
Yeah. Different times, different strokes, different folks. But child abuse is bad, no matter who you do it to or who it's done to or whatever reasons. If you lost 150 pounds, don't rape kids.
Blame it on the weight loss.
That's the stupidest. It's got to be one of the stupidest I've ever heard.
Stupidest
word?
No, it's not. But I think you can use it in that context.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't give a fuck. I'm saying stupidest anyway. So that being said, we're getting out of y'all's hair and ears and everything for Monday, March the 24th, I think it is.
think-
Yes, it is. And we will see y'all tomorrow. And I'm Woody Overton.
I'm Cyndi Overton.
We'll holler at you later. Peace.
At Ritual, we know what goes into the holiday season: the potluck planning, the gift giving, the spreadsheets. So this new year, take a moment for yourself with science-backed support that puts you first. So whether you're focusing on supporting foundational health with a clean vegan multivitamin or supporting your gut health with Symbiotic Plus, do it with 30% off your first month at ritual.com/podcast. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live Full Service, real-time updates only in iOS mobile apps. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
Oh, oh,